Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the second part of my 3-part series about dance analyses, and today is about shadows. I am going to be doing some references to my previous video, which was my analysis of Infra. If you want to have a look at that, feel free to, but you do not necessarily need to watch the video to understand it, since it can be taken as a separate video. I hope you enjoy, so let's start. Shadows is a neoclassical, classical/contemporary dance. It is a piece by Christopher Bruce and it revolves around a family coming to terms with deprivation, poverty and the realization of what lies outside their homes. There are themes such as poverty, depravity, families and fear, and there is set in the piece, unlike Infra, there is an old table, a bench, 2 stools and a coat stand and a suitcase. The costumes make it clear who is who in the family, a father and mother with a son and daughter. One of the things we realise is that the dark room is lit by a white light, but it's almost like it's coming from a candle since it's quite dim, and it is only just about lighting the room. The first solo was from the daughter, who seemed to be starting to express her own story, and it seemed to be featuring a lot of contrasting features in the dance, smooth and graceful movements to flexed and more awkward movements, and from being relaxed and then to tense and upright. It seems she seems to be restless and anxious, and she doesn't stop moving, and even when she relaxes, it's only for a few seconds before she goes back into a flurry of movement. She returns to the table after a while, and this goes into another trio dance. In this trio, she seems to be comforted by her mother and father, and she's raised towards the ceiling like she's a broken doll, since she's unmoving in their arms almost as if she's dead and is being raised into the afterlife. She is then seemingly comforted and then carried away until she returns to her seat at the table. Then, the duet between the couple follows. They seem to be very interconnected, both graceful, and they seem to be relying on each other a lot of the times in the dance. She then goes on the table into the light, which seems isolated until she falls back into his arms again, and it proceeds with another similar duet following that. Then she splits off into her own story solo, where she expresses her own feelings of weakness and seeming helplessness. And then it switches to another dynamic solo where the lighting changes and it comes from a front left-hand side corner, and it seems to represent the outside world, since in this solo the son takes the tables and chairs almost as if they're a shield to help them hide from something. He seems to be afraid yet angry, and he wants to be defiant and strong, yet he's too scared to do so. Then he sees something that truly terrifies him from the outside world, and it sends him scurrying back to his shelter of the table. Afterwards, his father comes to recover him from his distress after the rest of the family put everything back into order. Then they break off into duets showing their relationships between the pairs before swapping partners in the middle. However, then it seems to cleanly sweep itself up as everybody returns to the exact same position as the beginning and does the same movement. It was almost as if the dance was just a background and the past of our family of 4 that we can see now. It comes full circle and we see them get up and get dressed and ready to face the fears of the outside world that the son has seen from the table. The stimulus is frets of violin and piano, European history, family relationships and dynamics, and the unseen but present force outside. Throughout there is mainly violin and piano, which is the stimulus, and the clothing was from the olden times, which shows that this is a family in poverty, and it is from the times of 1930 to 1940. There are no breaks in tempo, but there are broken and staccato sounds to express the broken and sad emotions that our family feels, and there are fast-paced sections which are contrasted by slower sections, and they share different views and feelings that our characters go through. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful if you are doing your own analysis of shadows, or you just want to learn a bit more before Dance GCSE starts, because we're soon all going back to school, and I'm sure that there are lots of people who are slightly worried about the GCSEs coming up, since you might feel like you fell behind a bit in quarantine. But I hope that all my videos are helpful, and you can watch a few others if you'd like to see them on other topics, such as science or English or many other things. Click the notification bell and subscribe if you'd like to hear about the next video, which is going to be a comparison of Infra and shadows. And I also like to give some credit to the Dean Academy for writing some really good knowledge organisers all the important things in shadows and infra that I might not have been able to understand, such as the style from the shirts and clothes, since I'm not so educated on what time period wore what kind of clothes. I really wouldn't have known that if they hadn't put it in there for me. So thank you very much to them, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!